Yeah, I'll take it. So, hey guys, love the podcast. What is your guys's best advice for reading comp? Our best advice? Okay. I score well on games and logical reasoning, but I have room to improve on reading comp. On games, I miss 1 to 2 questions. On logical reasoning, I miss 3 or 4. But on reading comp, I miss 8 or 9. I have a tough time finishing, and I hate some of the questions. Okay. I wanted to know how to improve before the November LSAT. Also, when would be the ideal time to apply to law schools for 2021 post November LSAT? Thanks, John. Let's start with his first question. Yeah.
John must be a new listener. We're doing a better job teaching reading comprehension now than we ever have before. We have started teaching it in a way that we read the passage to you and we demonstrate the type of thought process we're engaging in as we read the passage. Basically what we're doing is we're demonstrating active reading. Most books, most LSAT classes have a terrible conception of active reading. They're telling you to highlight, they're telling you to underline, they're telling you to take notes. That shit is a waste of time and it does not help you comprehend. If you watch our videos in the Demon, which we have now dozens of them, probably coming up on hundreds of these videos where we call it story time. It's actually really fun, surprisingly fun. I do basically a dramatic reading of the passage and I talk to the author. That's what we're going for. We're going for a conversation. You don't need to take notes. You need to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. If you have a conversation with the author, then you're going to comprehend what they said. And when you comprehend what they said, you're going to realize that the questions are easy. The questions are asking, did you comprehend the passage? That's all they're asking. They're going to ask you 6 or 7 or 8 times. They're going to ask you, did you read it? Did you comprehend? Do you understand? Do you understand what the passage said? So John,
what the author's trying to tell you.
Yeah. It's clear, John, if you hate some of the questions, it's because you didn't read the passage well enough. So you have to learn to read the passage well enough. I would definitely recommend watching some of my videos in the Demon. We also have a basic RC class taught by Rebecca that people have found super helpful. But I feel like people are improving more now on reading comp than they ever were before. Because of this different shift in the way we're doing it. It's just like we blow people's minds because they're like, wow, you're having all of that kind of a conversation with the author? And it's like, yeah, because that's how I comprehend what they wrote.
Exactly. And I would say it's interesting too, because when you show people that path and then they start to walk down it, they still don't walk down it as far as you'd like them to at first. They're like, oh, okay, I got it. I need to engage more. And you're like, okay, read that first sentence. Tell me what you're thinking. And there's still this like superficial approach. And you're like, okay, you got to go further until you get it. And then you're going to start acing the questions and it's all going to make sense.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to beat them down that path, show them the path. And then they start going down the path, but then they turn around and go back the other way. It's like, no, we're going to go all the way down that path. On reading comp, the passage is a collection of all the right answers. And the questions, no matter how it's worded, all they're really asking you is, did you understand what you just read? Yeah. So naive students or novices always miss questions that sound like, which one of the following, it can be inferred from the passage that the author would be most likely to agree with which one of the following.
Yeah.
All that means is, what did it say? They don't want you to infer anything. They don't want you to speculate about the mental state of the author. They want you to pick an answer that is firmly grounded in what you just read. Yep. So it's for John, it's way easier than John thinks it is. You have to read the passage better in the first place, and then you have to pick answers that are just firmly rooted in the evidence in the passage. And they should be pretty easy if you read the passage better. So John's worried about time, clearly, right? I have a tough time finishing. Well, John, your problem isn't that you have a tough time finishing. Your problem is that you're missing 8 or 9 questions. I don't want you to finish. I
Yeah.
want you to read the passages better. If you run out of time and miss a few at the end, that's okay. What's not okay is missing 8 or 9 of the questions that you did, with scare quotes around it. You know, you did those questions. No, you didn't. You didn't find the right answer, so you didn't actually do them. So,
Yeah.
John, you're not actually finishing anyway.
Yeah.
You're only finishing if you get the questions right. Okay.
That's a good point to hit home.
Yeah. That's a good way of
You
delivering
haven't
it, right?
you haven't done anything if you got it wrong.
No, you didn't do your work. I mean, you did shitty work. You did sloppy work. Oh, but I finished the section. Well, I don't care. Anybody can finish the section and miss them all, or miss 8 or 9 questions. That's more than a whole passage worth of questions. So John thinks he's finishing, but he's not, because he didn't actually find the right answer. He just skimmed the surface and was confused, and he guessed. By the way, if he missed 8 or 9, that means he like half-assed. He got 8 more right with like a half guess.
Yeah.
And that's not what you should be doing. You should be feeling good about your answers. You should be confident that you're getting them right.